People. Que pasa, suck, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This one is called, whenever you come from Jamaica and you are a criminal element, do not bring that criminal element lifestyle to the people and place in America. Two different kettle of fishes. Law enforcement take their job serious. They investigate every case, especially when it comes to taking away the life of a person. Whether that person is innocent, whether that person is the devil, it is dealt with the same way. I am speaking about an incident that occurred back in April in a place called Albany. Pure Lounge and nightclub to be specific. There was a video or videos circulating all over social media with a set of men going in the club with a set of women. About 2 a.m. in the morning, a youth, his name is Javon Jamison. He is from Florida, but he moved to New York a couple of months before the incidents. The videos that are circulating on social media showed a group of people roll up at the club, men and women, probably about 6 or so of them, maybe about 4 men and 2 women. The video showed them going in the club, and then the video, most importantly, showed at about 2 a.m. outside of the club, 2 men were talking. That would be one of the suspects. When they were talking, one of the man wheel and pop off, blaze up some can in a man. His next friend or his accomplice, that person's name, Christopher King, he is 31. This incident occurred on or about April of 2023. Since those infamous videos, these men have been on the run. So people, April, within a September now, we are talking about 4 or 5 months ago. Lo and behold, as if we did not know, one of the accomplice, one of the suspect in this case, his name is Christopher King, 31-year-old. He was held in Georgia. So people follow the story. Javon is from Florida, Jamaica originally, lived in Florida, moved to New York, Queens to be specific, Albany to be specific, went to the nightclub. I guess him and the people had some sorts of problem before they decided that they are going to take him out. 2 o'clock in the morning, him come outside, him argue, or there was some sorts of verbal altercation with a man. That man wheel and pop off, blaze up some can pan him. The person that they held in Georgia, Mr. Christopher King, he then blaze up some can pan the man too. As a matter of fact, the accomplice of Mr. Christopher King also, based on the video evidence, blazed him up while he was on the ground. He then stepped away for a few seconds, came back and blazed him up some more. He was shot at least 20 times. He was hit at least 13 times. According to the court record, 4 times in the stomach, 2 times in the head, 1 time in the face, 4 times in the back, 1 time in the upper chest, 1 time in the arm. He was held in Georgia. He was arraigned Friday gone for the takeaway of a person, for murder conspiracy, illegal possession of a firepiece, and also ammo. Now, based on the Popo reports, court documentation, it is said that at about 2:05 a.m. in the morning, when Mr. Jamison left the club, Javon that is, he was trailed by these men. After what I told you took place and them calling him up, the men then left in a BMW. that BMW was also seen by them tracing or trailing all the roads leaving from the club. That plate was registered to one Mr. Christopher King. Needless to say, the Popo went by his house, recovered the vehicle. He was on the run since April. One of the accomplices is still out there. Like me say, after them hold on for Mr. Christopher King and they arraigned him, they said that he is facing between 25 to life. He is now 31. When he gets out of jail after being convicted, which he will, because of all of the video evidence, all the trail that he left, let's call it was a sloppy crime of murder. So people, if Mr. King is looking at 25 to life, just imagine what is going to happen to that accomplice that actually conned up the man while he was on the ground. He then left and turned back and conned him up a couple more times. You and I know that dog is going to eat his supper. What makes it even worse, based on the video evidence, based on the court documentation, is that when these two men, Mr. Christopher King and his accomplice, name not given, tried to enter the club, the accomplice was turned back because he was frisked, and they found some sorts of tool, so him left. I guess he ditched the tool or gave it to one of his Catalina to bring in at the club. He then came back, they entered the club. They was scoping out Mr. Jamison, Mr. Javan all this time. So therefore, as soon as he went out, they went out behind him, start all sorts of talking as some sorts of distraction. All the time the hit was planned for his life. People, youths out there, Jamaica, I am going to emphasize, it is not like foreign. Everything that you do is videotape. Every business there that you see have videotape, CCTV. All corners have videotape, CCTV. Not trying to teach you to be criminals. However, if I can save a life or save somebody from getting caught up or getting hurt, that is the motive of this channel. Learn from the mistakes of others. The idleness, the shooty mentality that you have in Jamaica, do not bring it to the people in place, or else you are going to learn the hard way. It is hard to beat any sorts of crime in America, especially murder. Because if it is even 30, 40 years down the line, there is no sorts of statute of limitation. These po take their job seriously. They have a passion for solving crime, not like Jamaica. They are paid, they are compensated very well to find you. That is how a country like the United States and other responsible first world nations remain lawful, remain peaceful, remain safe. And I am not saying that there's not any sorts of places or neighborhood in the place where it is not kind of ill or off the chain. Me just say, for the most part, do not think that you are going to go and take out anybody, fire up any sorts of wild SHOT, and then just go your yard and everything just like it was before. It does not work like that. Mr. Christopher King would find out the hard way. Less than 6 months, like me say, in Albany, New York, them find him in Georgia for taking out a man from Jamaica, moved to Florida, went to New York and lost his life. Youths out there, be very wise. So I am not trying to make any sorts of excuse for anybody that have any sorts of criminal intention or had any sorts of criminal intention in a Jamaica and take away innocent people. But me just say, when you get a second chance to make a good impression, do not blow it. Do not make the mistake that you make in Jamaica, because in America it is going to come back and haunt you. Not saying that it might, I am saying that it will. Sooner or later, the long arms of the law, fly high or fly low, it is going to catch you. So therefore, learn from the mistakes of others. Do not make that mistake, because like me say, the people them take them thing serious. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is called, "Why is common sense so uncommon in a Jamaica?" Why is rational thinking as it pertains to our leaders like a fleeting illusion that can never be achieved? I am speaking about a statement that I saw from your finance minister, Mr. Ligel Clark, in which he made a bold statement that they are going to take over the expense for that failed, fraudulent SSL. They are going to be paying out about 14 plus million, almost 15 million for 22 employees of that failed place. It includes their payroll and also expenses, legal, and all other miscellaneous expenses pertaining to that company. Now people, you and I know, as a business that is private, if you put out or do some sorts of business and it fail, you depend on your own. So therefore, you know the risks, you know the rewards. Business are going to fail, some business are going to be successful. As it pertains to SSL, they've been an epic failure for in excess of a decade. The relevant authority, including your Prime Minister, including your Finance Minister, including the regulatory body, they knew that this was a failed business. However, they allowed in excess of 70 people. Initially it was 39 to 40, $10 million. Now the figures are even getting worse. 70 plus victim, over 20 million Jamaican dollars. That is billions in 20 million US, sorry. That is a couple billions in a Jamaican. So beaucoup cash. Now, when we listen to the rationale of the finance minister, and we know that this is a Rhodes Scholar, that means him supposed to have sense, or him have sense. But it seems as if his sense is selective, as in with that hike in the pay for the parliamentarian. So therefore, that is why I say it is selective. Because what's supposed to make sense or make no sense, that is the issue that he is pushing. Now, his excuse is that he wants no stone to be unturned. He wants the people of Jamaica to see that SSL is broke. Well, duh, Mr. Rhodes Scholar, everybody knows that they are broke. Everybody knows that it was a Ponzi scheme. Everybody knows it was a scam, it was a sham. There is no assets. Pretty much you put in your money as investor, and then them take your money and they live luxurious billionaire lifestyle while not being accountable, because the leaders of your nation, they make sure that they protect, guard, safeguard, defend them at all costs. Talk about costs. They hired a forensic team. I think the name is Crawl. They are from UK. They have in excess of a century in forensic science. So therefore, them can trail money from its start to its finish. Then them have the FID, them have MOCA. And then, very importantly, they have the FBI. So therefore, all of these bodies are collaborating. So therefore, people who are supposed to be financial genius, meaning your finance minister, this is what he's doing, and he claims that he is doing it for the best interest of the Jamaica people. Well, people, here's the thing. The best interest of the Jamaica people, and I understand that, listen, the people work there However, what I don't understand, do you need the people to still be there? Don't you just interview these people and make them go about them business? What type of business are these 22 people conducting? What progress are they making? Are they going to give you information that is going to lead to the arrest of the main perpetrator, meaning the Cross-Kerris, meaning the Harding, meaning upper management that definitely was giving out instruction, delegating instruction of where the money is supposed to go, where the money is supposed to be coming from, rate, lele, blue, blah, bling. All you had to do is interview those people, get the information. I do not see why they are still there working on something that has failed. There is no likely possibility of it coming back. There is no likely possibility of the investors who lost billions getting back their money. As a matter of fact, this company has been in the red for the better part of a decade, and the relevant authority, the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister, knows it. So therefore, why are you beating a DEAD horse? What do you intend to achieve from this? How is somebody that is a financial wizard, a Rhodes Scholar like me say, the best of the best, making those type of decisions? And people, whenever I have conversation with people that live overseas, friends of mine, and we say to ourselves, then hold on a minute. How is it that in America, Canada, UK, you have Jamaicans that are managing multi-billion-dollar corporation, Fortune 500 companies? However, you cannot get anybody in any sorts of business, any sorts of government entity to do anything that makes common sense. Everything is an epic failure. And people, the ulterior motive, in tranquility, in common sense, you cannot thief. Corruption is not allowed to infiltrate or corrupt, like I say. However, in chaos and catastrophe, that is when the hustle is. That is when people are gaining. So therefore, all of the smoke screen is just a deflection to confuse people. It is psychs that people use when they want to scam you, but they want you to look a different way. It makes no sorts of sense. There's no sorts of rational, no sorts of common sense. I want you to take a look to exactly what the finance minister has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
Shares in SSL are worth zero, and shareholders of SSL have lost their investment in SSL entirely, and the government is not making any steps to provide any remedy for that. The funds that the government will be providing will be going to pay employees on a temporary basis, only to facilitate the completion of the thorough investigation. And that's what the Jamaican people want. That's what you want. You want persons to be held accountable for this massive fraud that has embarrassed the country. And that's exactly what we will do. But to do so, we need to have the employees in place. It's simply not enough to say that those assets on the balance sheet of SSL are irrecoverable. The Jamaican people and the government of Jamaica will accept nothing less than a court pronouncing that those receivables on the balance sheet or assets are not recoverable. And whether that is a court in Jamaica, a court in the United States, or a court anywhere abroad, that is the minimum standard. And so the support of the government will be conditioned on the temporary manager pursuing the monetization of any asset that SSL has, including the recovery of receivables. The Kroll Associates, the international team of forensic auditors, have provided extensive assistance in the investigation thus far. They were in Jamaica last week and provided me with an update which mirrors the update that the FID provided to the country yesterday. In addition, the FID's collaboration with the FBI is bearing fruit, and the government of Jamaica is committed to supporting the FID, the FSC, and the temporary manager in ensuring a thorough, complete, and transparent investigation that brings all perpetrators, conspirators, and co-conspirators to justice.
So people, this finance minister is trying to convince the people of Jamaica, the victims of this massive scam, that they have their best interests at heart. They are doing everything to prove. So therefore, them now just tell us it is a failure. No money, no asset, everything that you invested is gone. Them want to prove it. Them want you have a final decision from a court to say yes. All that you knew before, even before this added expenses, on top of what you've lost, the billions. This is what we're going to do. However, this is not a bailout. People, if you're looking at the dictionary, if I even a madman dictionary, and look at the word or the term bailout, that is exactly what it is. So when we hear somebody that is a Rhodes Scholar try to explain to the common sense people in Jamaica that, listen, you're not going to get back any sorts of money, more than likely or 100% this is a loss. They are pretty much telling you that, listen, we are going to put good money, your taxpayers' money, 14 to 15 million a month for however long. Good money going into bad idea. People, that is not sound financial advice of them investing your money. It is like investing in pig belly. And that is exactly what the SSL was. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.